supernatural Scotland. I'll be your guide, Mark. Now, I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm not here to tell you ghosts and ghouls exist. What I am here to do is show you some cool locations in Scotland. So join me for the tour. Welcome to Blair Castle and Hercules Gardens, just over there. Now you may think I'm going to tell you about a haunted castle today, but I'm not. I'm going to tell you about the surrounding area. It's believed that this area, the mountains and the woodlands, are occupied by a witch, naughty fairies, a phantom whistler in Glen Tilt, and there's also a monument that marks the final hanging after a brutal murder. I would like to say a huge thank you to Atholl Estates for allowing me to film. Please come and check out the castle. It has lots to see inside, lots of history, and also a lovely cafe and shop inside. There is also Hercules statue, which is very impressive, and the beautiful Hercules Gardens. Definitely check those out. There's also lots of walks around the area. Definitely check them out too. And there's lots of places to stay. I stayed in the caravan park nearby, which is lovely and very close to the castle. So now on to the stories. Where to begin with all these juicy stories? Near Blair Castle lies Glen Tilt. Glen Tilt is haunted by a phantom whistler, believed to be the spirit of a shepherd. Many have heard the whistling of this shepherd moving his sheep along, but they have never seen a shepherd or anyone else. On a dark, stormy night, a shepherd was chatting to his friend and claimed they wouldn't hear the whistler on that night. Just after, he heard a whisper in his ear, saying, "I created the spirit laws. I went round the bridge, and here I am." They ran as fast as they could, never to return to the glen. John Stuart murdered a man in 1630 for disrespecting him. He went on the run, but was caught and imprisoned. Stuart was later released, much to the anger of locals, including Mackintosh. Stuart began to plot revenge against Mackintosh for celebrating his imprisonment. Stuart invited Mackintosh and his servant for a day of shooting in the mountains. After a day of shooting, Stuart took his revenge on Mackintosh, killing him with a knife to the heart. He asked his servant to kill Mackintosh's servant. His servant was scared for his own life, so reluctantly stabbed the other man, being careful not to mortally wound him. The man realised what was happening and pretended to be dead. However, Stuart began to worry the scene did not look right. He returned to the scene to make sure it looked like the master and servant had killed each other during a fight. While there, he decided to make sure the servant was dead. He slashed the soles of his feet with his dirk to make sure the man was dead. The man managed to stay motionless during this ordeal. Afterwards, he managed to escape and raise the alarm. Stuart again went on the run. He was chased by 33 men loyal to the Earl of Atholl. They caught him in Caithness. He attempted to escape many times, however, he was finally hung at the estate. The Earl of Atholl built the Balvenie pillar on the exact spot in 1755. It is said a witch lives in the woodlands and hills surrounding Blair Castle. The last sighting of the witch was recorded in 1733. Two poachers were out hunting when they were caught in the midst of a snowstorm. They found a small hut in the wilderness. They were welcomed inside by an old woman. They were given a meal and shown a rope containing 3 knots. She explained each knot gave her power over wind, snow, and rain. The witch promised they would have good weather for deer hunting if they left her venison on the first Monday of every month during the hunting season. They were also advised to place a fat hart behind Fraser's cairn. They were warned there would be consequences if they failed to do her bidding. They feared the witch and what would happen if they refused. They did as the witch requested, and never did they have bad weather during hunting again. So, watch out for snowstorms, and beware of huts in strange places. It may be occupied by a little old witch. In a place called Lude, just before Christmas, there was a funeral. The mourners toasted the grave until the men were merry. One man, thinking he was funny, kicked a skull and said, "Come and have a Christmas dram with me." Not thinking any more of it, Christmas Day arrived. A man came to the house, telling his wife of the invite. His wife gave the man a hearty meal, and the man ate everything. The wife had to go ask a neighbour for more food. After eating all of the food, he asked the wife to invite her husband to come and share New Year with him. The man never did take up the invite. While out with his sheep one day, he heard music coming from a cave. He listened outside for a while, but when he returned home, he bumped into a neighbour. The neighbour, surprised by seeing him, asked where he had been for a whole year. When he returned home, he was shocked to see his son had grown from a baby into a toddler. The fairies had tricked him and kept him for a whole year. In the 1920s, 2 poachers took shelter from the weather in a glen. At night time, a creature attacked them. The creature had tried to drink the blood of one poacher, but they were able to fight off the creature, and it disappeared into the darkness. Could this have been a Scottish vampire, or a blood-sucking fairy believed to haunt the mountain paths and low roads of the Highlands? If you hear music coming from a cave, just keep walking, and do not venture into the wilderness at night time. Something may be hungry.